Oh, thank you for being here with me. So, this is my little mini introduction to meditation. It's going to be followed by a very beneficial meditation, which I'll describe after I talk about a little bit about meditation. So, if you don't need this, you can, of course, skip to the next part. Um, so, for people who haven't meditated before, it's important to know that consistency is, in my mind at the moment, probably more important than duration. So while you'll undoubtedly want to extend the meditation farther at some point, it's more important to be consistent. And to that end, I recommend twice a day, and morning and evening. And um, it's important if you can do it. It's not totally necessary. The most important thing is to do the meditation, regardless of anything else, as far as getting actual results you want. And this, like I say, can be very beneficial. Um, so I recommend twice a day, morning and evening. It can be as little as 10 minutes. I recommend starting with about 15. Uh, Myself, I always try to do an absolute bare minimum of a half hour in the morning and at night. And my more usual is 2 to 3 hours in the morning and usually the same at night. But if you can meditate at the same place and at the same times every day, it will help your body to prepare for the fact that you're going to meditate. All these meditations and things, everything you do with your mind, the way you sit, the way you're still at the time, all of these things affect body and the chemicals in your body. And your body and your mind will learn how to adapt to these things and to these meditations and get better and better at them. So the more consistent you can be, the more ready your body will be and make the proper chemicals for relaxation, for engaging in your meditation. Now, it's also important while we're talking about this fact that we don't want our body trained to fall asleep during meditation, because that can happen as well. If you allow yourself to fall asleep regularly during meditation, this will become a normal sleep period for your body, and then it'll make it that much tougher not to fall asleep. So, to that end and others, I recommend adopting a particular meditation position that you can maintain for the duration of the meditation without falling asleep. You want to be as comfortable as possible. So what I usually recommend to start with, if people want to, is a simple asana to help their meditations. And the simplest one is to sit in a chair, your legs straight, knees together, feet together, hands resting lightly on your feet towards the end of your knees. And in the beginning, you can lean your back against the chair, but it's recommended better to get used to it where you're maintaining your position in stillness without needing to rely on support of the chair. And that will do several things. It's going to reassure your body and your mind. It's going to tell everything that this is your meditation that's beginning, so we need to get into this. It'll help accommodate you to it. You will accommodate to it that much faster. If you are still enough, you can find this position becomes very comfortable. If you can be still enough for long enough, it can become very comfortable, and you can actually get a lot of rest. It'll be very restful, almost better rest than getting sleep, but you'll be conscious and awake the whole time. But that takes a lot of practice to get down that far. For this point, the more important thing for a beginner is to just have enough tension your arms and legs, however you're sitting, something that's comfortable but has just enough tension that you don't have a tendency to fall asleep. Okay, and do the meditation, of course. Be in a quiet environment if you can. Now, what this meditation is about. This meditation is a type of awareness meditation. And we're talking a two-part thing here, a practice and a meditation. And you can do either as much as or as little as you want, of course. And that is to be aware. We'll start with the active part, which you do every day in your everyday life, and that's just to be aware of who you are and where you are at. It turns out that we are actually like waves on a vast ocean of consciousness, but we're not aware of this vast ocean of consciousness and the potential that's out there. And we are already a part of it, but we don't recognize that. We can't see it directly. This meditations and meditating this way will help you to do that. And you can emerge into a much larger awareness of things. But so part of this is to be aware of everything you're doing, and that means you're not thinking all the time. So being aware of what you're doing as you're moving, as you're doing things, being alert, not being distracted, not thinking a lot to yourself, okay? And the important thing about this is if you can be in the here and now. So what's going on right now while you're doing this focus on doing stuff is just what's going on. No past traumas happening. You're not thinking about them. You're not feeling them. No past, things. You need to be in the present completely. And if you can be in the present completely, a lot of the past pains and things slip away for the time that you're in there. And also, your future fears and anxieties and things, you want to let those drop. Just be in the now. Be concerned with what you're doing. Let it fill you up and just be doing it. And this also includes as much as you can of a component of trying to think less, not let your thoughts bother you. Thoughts can really sap your energy. So it's just getting a little control over all this stuff. And getting a little self-control is one of the first steps to really taking charge of your own life and going where you want to go with it. Now, the meditation is going to be about the similar thing. We're going to get in a meditation position, and we're going to sit. We're going to quiet the body. We're going to try to be calm and at ease as much as we can, and quiet our thoughts as much as we can. And I know for beginners these things can be hard, but you can and will get the knack of it with continued practice. And the goal is to sit and be aware, be consciousness, not be aware of things in particular like, ouch, my arm hurts. So you're trying to be as still as possible in your body, as still as possible in your emotions, trying not to think about things that make you feel bad, emotions and things. Relax your mind, relax your thoughts. Since you're in the here and now, you're just sitting. And for some people, just sitting like this is very difficult. Some people find it easier. Everybody's capable of it. It just takes more practice for some people than others. And when you're aware, if you can let your thoughts calm down, let them go by, just try not to think about them, let them taper off to a stillness, and just be conscious. And if you can become that consciousness, you'll see a much wider perspective. Things open out. Things will appear your worries and troubles of your current life, if you can achieve a good state of this, will appear much less troublesome to you. And the whole state will be a period of rest and recuperation for emotions, your body, and your mind, if you can let it be. And that's basically the entire meditation. Another little approach, a little slight change you can make in it if you want to, that helps some people, it helps me, is to try to realize that you are awareness, to kind of look for yourself within and try to feel, to perceive what you are directly. And that is not a thought you have, that is not a picture you have of yourself as a doctor, a lawyer, a politician, a taxi driver, a wood lumberman, somebody who chops wood for a living, which I did for a long while, splitting wood. That's a very manual way to survive. A lot of work too. But that's not you. To realize that you are beyond this body. You are not this body. When this body dies, there is that will go on. You are not your emotions. You are not your mind. It's to perceive these things and discover all these things you're not. Some people look at it that way, and some people say to look for yourself, to try to see yourself and perceive what you are, and to realize that you're not any of those things. You're consciousness. You're this consciousness. And the more you can become this consciousness and this awareness, the results can be incredibly amazing. If you want further detail on this type of thing, you can look to Eckhart Tolle, who talks about all of these kind of things, and he's currently alive and highly recommended. Or if you prefer the old sages, Ramana Maharshi, his philosophy is right in line with all of this and this meditation, and you can bring yourself to a very high state of enlightenment if you can succeed in these things very well. Success can be shorter or farther off. For some people like myself, it can take years and years. But the meditation is always useful and valuable to do, and can very much help your everyday life and your living, and help you to be a happier individual and get along better in your life. So that's about it. We're going to take a break now, and I will go get in position, and you guys pause the video and go get into meditation position and get everything set up, and we'll do this one for 15 minutes, and I'll have it recorded here, and I have a little timer that I will set, and you can either do it along with me. There won't be anything to see, but this way you won't have to get a timer for yourself until you're ready. Of course, everybody can set a timer on their cell phone. But I'm going to set a timer and meditate this way for 15 minutes. And you can either do it with me or stop the video and do it yourself. Blessed be. Get yourself into your meditation position. Make yourself comfortable. Like I say, I recommend a little tension. Make yourself sure you're not going to fall asleep. We're about to start the timer. This will be for 15 minutes. As little as even 10 minutes a day can be beneficial, but I recommend at least doing it twice a day. And don't try sitting like this unless you watch a proper video. Apologies for my shirt being off, but it's just really hot in here, and it's just the easiest way. I've had a bunch of attempts to do this video, so I want to just get it done. I actually, when I started, I didn't remember I had my shirt off, but that's the way it goes. So excuse me if you're offended. Okay, 15 minutes on the timer. Well, that was it. So that's a good start. Anybody who watched a little too closely would notice I fidget a little bit too much, and that's symptomatic of random thoughts running through my brain that I haven't got under control yet, but I'm working on it. Thank you. Blessed be.